What are you doing in my swamp?
Hello everybody, this is Overboy and I'm going to be doing my review for the new movie Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. So, in this movie, the title character Shang-Chi is forced to confront his past after he is drawn into his father's Ten Rings organization, and he's having to face off against his father and save the world. That's all I'm really going to say about the plot. I don't want to run this movie for anybody who hasn't seen it yet, because it is a brand new movie and everything, so, but I really enjoyed this movie quite a bit. It really surprised me on how good it was, and how entertaining it was. Like, I did not expect this movie to be near as good as it was and everything, and I had pretty high expectations for it because it did look like it'd be really good and everything, but I still enjoyed it more than I expected. The title character is played by Simu Liu, I think is how you say his name. I'm probably gonna butcher the names, so I may not talk a whole lot about their names and stuff in here because I know I'd butcher them, but I think he's really great as Shang-Chi. He was just perfect in the role and everything. Really likable. He has a really likable personality, and I really enjoyed his performance and stuff. And Awkwafina plays his best friend Katie, which I don't know if she's ever going to be his love interest or not, but they had great chemistry and stuff, and I could see them two end up being a couple within the next few movies, kind of like how Tony and Pepper started off as good friends and stuff in the Iron Man franchise. I could see their relationship building up, but I really like her in here, and Awkwafina just does a really great job. She's one of those actresses that's kind of on the uprising. I think she's really good in everything that I've seen her in so far and everything. She's really good in this movie too. Wouldn't say it's her best performance. I still think that's probably The Farewell, but she is really good in here, and she just has a really likable screen presence, and Katie is a really likable character. And Ming or Zing plays Zhu Xiling, I think is how you say her name, Shang-Chi's sister. She's really, really good. I apologize, I know I'm butchering these names, but she's really good in here. She has a lot of cool fight scenes and stuff and everything, and like the first scene when we see her and Shang-Chi are in the cage together and stuff, that was a really fun scene. If you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. And the villain in this movie is Shang-Chi's father, Zhu Wenwu, and personally I feel like he is just one of the best MCU villains we've had in a long time. Like, he's just really, really great, and everything. I absolutely loved him. He had a really good character arc. There was a lot of good moments with him, and he's got this likable personality and everything, but he's also unlikable at the same time. He does a lot of really bad stuff, and he doesn't do a lot of stuff for the good, like, very well, but at the same time you understand why he is the way he is, and you understand his motivations and stuff. And I think he just is a really, really great villain, and it kind of reminded me of Killmonger, except Killmonger was more on the crazy side than he was, but he had really good motivations like Killmonger did and stuff. He just didn't do them the right way and everything. His heart was kind of in the right place in a way, but he was executing stuff the wrong way, if that makes sense. But I think he's a really good villain, though. One of the better ones we've had in a solo Marvel movie, and definitely a huge step up from I think it was Taskmaster and Black Widow. I think it was easily one of the best. Wenwu is one of the best villains in recent MCU history, for sure. And of course, getting Ben Kingsley back as Trevor Slater, the actor who was in Iron Man 3, pretending to be the Mandarin. He just absolutely perfect. He cracks me up. He was absolutely hilarious in this movie. And last time I watched Iron Man 3, I had a lot of blast watching him. I thought he was really hilarious in that movie and everything. And he's just still perfect in this role in this movie. And seeing this movie kind of makes me just like the character even more and everything. I hope we get to see more of him later down the line. He's really likable, and he's funny and everything. And there's some really cool looking creatures in this movie too, like especially when they get to Shang-Chi's mom's home world and the village and stuff, and you see all these different creatures and stuff. They look awesome, and the visual effects in here are really good for the most part. Like, even the CGI for the most part is really good, except towards the end. Some of the CGI in the fighting scenes weren't as good, but like the creatures and stuff, I thought they looked pretty good. Reminded me a lot of like the creatures in Harry Potter and stuff, like the way they look. So it didn't really bother me. I thought that was good, and I really enjoyed this movie. I think it's a really, really great entry into the franchise. Not the best movie in the MCU, far from the worst either. It's just a really, really entertaining one. It's definitely one of the ones that I think I'm gonna like even more and more as I rewatch it and stuff. And director of this movie is Destin Daniel Cretton, who has directed some really, really great movies already. Like one of my favorite movies of his is Short Term 12, which is an independent movie I saw for the first time a couple years ago. Absolutely love it. And he's done a couple others since then. Both been really great movies. Last one was Just Mercy with Jamie Foxx and Michael B. Jordan. That was a really great movie. And I was kind of eerie about him going from being this little indie filmmaker to doing a big budgeted superhero movie. I thought this could be a really big disaster, but it wasn't. He really did a good job with this movie, and I love what they did with it and everything. It's a really entertaining movie. It's fast paced. The characters are lovable from the beginning, and it was just really, really entertaining movie, and can't wait to see it again. So I'd say I'd give Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings an 8.5 out of 10. It's really entertaining and definitely worth checking out and everything, especially if you're an MCU fan. You've probably already seen it, but if you haven't, or you're not sure it's worth seeing in the theater, I definitely would say it is. It's fun getting to see these movies in a theater with an audience and stuff, people who actually love these type of movies as much as you do and stuff, and so it's definitely worth checking out and everything. But let me know in the comments what you think of Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and have a good day, everybody.